Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. I decided to go live for a couple minutes before I head out of the country, and I hope I'm coming through all right. I'm still in Colombia. I have one more day here, and thought that I would check in and just see what was going on with you guys. Today I have a couple things on my mind, and I'll share those things. But also, I want to let you guys know that today, I'm going to open up the floor if you have any questions and stuff like that that you'd like to ask me actually while we're here. And sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to figure this out. What's going on, Vic? What's happening, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Lamarcus. Hey, Jo. What's happening? Uh, shit, this fucking thing, man. This guy, all this goddamn technology. This shit never works right. Anyway, it's too early for me to be doing all that cussing, so I'm not gonna cuss too much. What's going on, Power Tap Guru, James Jackson, Nikisha? How are you? Brixton, Vic, Big Todd. What's happening? Yeah, I wanted to kind of address something that I saw recently that I thought I'd like to get your take on this. There's a rapper by the name of YG, and YG is a pretty good rapper. He did a song with Nipsey Hussle actually that was really good, and I like his style. I think he's a very good artist, and I read that he's out doing the Black Man Apology Tour right now. I don't know if anybody give me a yes or no if you saw this. If you saw that the rapper YG is now apologizing to the LGBT community. Uh, I don't know for what. I mean, they just always be having brothers out here apologizing just because, right? Because white people are like, you need to apologize for being born, Negro. You need to apologize because you existed. Now you ain't got no right to even live. So anyway, um, so he's apologizing. Apparently, I think Glad, the LGBT group, basically jumped in and put the pressure on him. It's probably related to money. And reading here, this is on the Griot. Griots, that I think Byron Allen owns the Griot, and I don't have no big issue with the Griot. Um, you know, Other than the fact that the Griot, I think Byron Allen bought the Griot so he could connect with the ADOS folks and pretend to have a grassroots movement with this whole lawsuit thing. But it is what it is. But anyway, so it says rapper YG hasn't wasted any time so far apologizing to the LGBTQ community. So I keep forgetting that last letter, and I'm learning the differences. I'm trying to be, I'm going to be respectful, but I think that people have to be respectful of our right to believe what we want to believe. So early New Year's Day, YG, whose birth name is Keenan Daquan Ray Jackson, took to Twitter to apologize for his ignorant past views on LGBTQ people, saying that he's particularly sorry for anything that was not respectful or accepting. YG signed off on the tweet, "Live, love your life, gang." Okay, all right. So he's apologizing. All right, so tell me if you can feel or get what I'm saying. When you see all these apologies, right, and you see that typically a lot of our artists, and that's fine. The apology is fine. I mean, I'm not even here to really say that there's something wrong with the apology. I mean, shit, if you did something that you think is wrong, I admire the fact that you were conscientious enough to apologize. Um, but do you kind of feel like sometimes we get black folks out here apologizing for every damn thing, like just apologizing just for damn near nothing, like, but not apologizing to the people that really deserve an apology. Like, I mean, think about this, right? I mean, I'm just really process this for a minute. They got your black ass apologizing for the fact that the sky is blue. They got you apologizing because you wore brown shoes. They got you apologizing because you're 6'1" instead of 6'2". They got you apologizing because your mama didn't abort you before you were born. But no, they won't even apologize for slavery. Like, you have a country that won't even apologize for slavery. But they got your black ass. Like, I mean, think about this. If this ain't a pimp move, I don't know what is. They got the oppressed people doing all the fucking apologizing, and they're like, we ain't apologizing for shit. Who should be apologizing the most in this country? Black people or white people? Who should be apologizing? Who has the most skeletons in their closet that they need to address? Who's committed the most bullshit atrocities on other people? Black people or white people? Shit, all we did was make the horrible mistake of inviting you into Africa and and feeding you some bananas and milk when you were hungry, right? That was our big mistake. We need to apologize to ourselves for being stupid enough to trust your conniving ass. Like, so that's what we need to apologize. I apologize to myself for ever believing the bullshit that came out of Master's mouth, right? So I think that, we got to quit that shit, man. I mean, I'm not even dissing this brother, the artist. I mean, I don't know nothing about YG, man. And it ain't even about me saying, oh, man, what's wrong with you? Something wrong with you. No, it's really more so saying, what are they apologizing to you for? When you're apologizing to them, then it should be mutual, right? Like if I get in an argument with my woman, the way we make up is because we love each other is I'll say, baby, I'm sorry. I apologize. We got in a big argument one day. We just so you know, even couples that love each other fight. So don't ever think a fight means you shouldn't be together. It just means you might just be fighting together. And one day we got in this big argument on one of our little runs, and we were just going back and forth, right? And she's mad at me, I'm mad at her, and she's like, "Boyce, I can't stand this." And she just walks away, and then I walk away. I'm like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna go this way, right? So we walked away, right? And then though, about 20 minutes later, after we cooled off, I saw her again, and she was like, I'm sorry. And I said, I'm sorry too, baby. I love you, right? It was a mutual apology. Because why? Well, because we were both admitting that we both did something that we regret, right? Black folks don't really get mutual apologies from the dominant society, right? In America, anyway. You don't get mutual, like, okay, here's where I was wrong, here's where you were wrong, let's work together. We don't really get that. What we get is, you need to apologize because we said so, right? Like we dominate, we run this music industry, we run this thing. It's our rules. It doesn't even matter. Because seriously, like how many of you really believe, like seriously, deep down, how many of you really believe that, in the midst of YG's apology, how many of y'all really believe that he really, really is sincerely remorseful for what he said? I mean, how many of y'all really feel like, he's sitting at home, like he can't sleep at night because he's so concerned about the fact that he may have offended the LGBTQ community, right? Right. But, and how many of you think that maybe he made the apology because that's the rules of the game? It's like when your mama used to say, you remember when you were little and your mama you'd be arguing with your mama, and then you start winning the argument and your mama gets pissed. And then she just says, because I said so. Right. And you're like, because you're explaining to her why you shouldn't have to clean your room or whatever. Like me and my mom used to have those arguments all the time where she would explain like, well, you need to do this. I'd be like, no, mama, blah, blah, blah. And we would go back and forth, and then I would start winning the argument. And then she would just shut that shit down quick. And it would basically be boiled down to, okay, I'm done playing this game with you. It's because I said so. Right. Well, that's kind of what white folks do, right? They lure you into this illusion called equality. Right? This illusion called integration, this illusion called diversity, right? And they lure you in, they just bring you in, you get nice and comfortable, and they say, oh, we're all the same, and we all have rights, and we all love each other. We're all in the same gang. We're all in the same team, right? And then you start really believing that shit. You start really operating like you really got some rights up in this motherfucker. Like you really start acting like you really got a say in how things are gonna turn out. Or that your views actually matter, right? Anybody ever go through that? You ever see somebody that's like an affirmative action hire, and they get hired and they really think that the company really wants to hear their black ass opinion, or they really think that they're brought in because they have these fresh ideas that everyone wants to hear? Anybody ever see that? And then when you really start laying your ideas on the table, they start looking at you funny, like, you obviously don't understand what's going on here. You obviously don't understand the power dynamic that is in existence up in this space. Like, you don't understand that we're running all of this, and that your opinion is inconsequential to us. It doesn't matter to us. And the only way it's going to matter is if you make it matter, right? If you make it matter, then it will matter. But if you don't have the power to make it matter, then your opinion will never matter. And so for Black people, one of the biggest problems you have, this is where I'm going, this is where I'm getting to. You don't have the power to force anybody to apologize to you for shit. You are spending a lot of energy trying to be accepted. You're spending a lot of energy trying to get people to like you. That's why there was another situation. Did you see where there was a shooting in the Black church, or it wasn't a Black church, but shooting in the church, and the Black lady whose father got killed, already like within 24 hours was, telling everybody she forgives the killer, right? Like you killed my parents, like I'm not going to forgive you. But for her, she was able to forgive, kind of like the Amber Geiger situation, right? The reason that you go on these apology tours, and the reason you go on these, the forgiveness chitlin circuit, is because you don't have power and you believe that your only way to survive is to basically, is to basically just quietly try to get along. Like, hey, I'm sorry. I forgive you. Oh, and so they smack you. It's like, oh, hey, I forgive you. I forgive you for smacking me. And they're like, okay, good. They smack you again. You're like, okay, well, that really hurt, buddy. Oh God, okay. Now you're really fooling, buddy. Now that second smack really, but I forgive you. Oh, okay, good. Smack again, right? And you keep forgiving, like somehow forgiving is actually going to put you in the good graces of the oppressor, and it doesn't. It actually makes you look like a wimp, right? And so I'm gonna give props right now, real quick. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to give props right quick to a Black man by the name of Kevin Hart. Not because Kevin's perfect, not because everything Kevin has done has been wonderful, but I'm going to give him props on this. Did anybody remember, give me a yes or no if you remember Kevin Hart's little whole situation where he went head to head with that particular community. Does anybody remember when Kevin Hart, when they tried to go put the hammer on Kevin Hart? Anybody remember that? And Kevin Hart basically gave them the middle finger. Kevin Hart came back and said, F all of y'all. Like, I've already apologized. I already addressed it. I'm not addressing this shit no more. And then they said, well, we have the Negro spanking protocol. We're going to punish you. Oh, you're being a bad boy, right? Now, Kevin Hart might be a short man, but he ain't no little boy, right? He's a grown-ass man. And they said, you're being a bad boy, so we're not going to let you host the Oscars. Well, Kevin pulled a Boyce Watkins on him, which I thought was great. He said, fuck the Oscars. Like, I don't need to host the Oscars. If you don't have me, you're the one that's losing, because I can actually help your sorry ass ratings for your weak ass award show that doesn't mean anything anyway. He didn't say all of that. I'm improvising. I'm adding stuff in. But so I know sometimes I can be hard on some of the celebrities, right? Because y'all saw the whole thing last week with Lizzo, and I don't backpedal on one single word that I said. Lizzo's still fat. We still celebrate obesity. We still celebrate the Mammy Jezebel minstrel show. And if you don't see the unhealthy dysfunction that exists within all of that, then I feel sorry for you. If you can't see how celebrating obesity is part of what's causing us to die from heart disease, diabetes, and heart attacks and shit, then I feel sorry for you. If that's why Big Mama's foot got cut off, because she kept eating the chitlins and ham hocks and hog mogs and whatever, right? And putting a gallon of sugar in the Kool-Aid or whatever, right? If you don't see where the Mammy Jezebel stereotype is being played out with, some obese woman who's going to Lakers games with a booty out, playing the flute and twerking on white men for money. If you can't see where that's an issue, then I'm sorry, you can't. I'm not going to talk to you until you go take your black monkey ass off and go take a couple Black history classes so that you can understand what's really going on. I forgive you for being too ignorant to follow what the fuck I was talking about. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to, it's like if somebody comes to you, if you're a scientist in a lab and you know that an oxygen molecule is H2O, or not oxygen, excuse me, water is H2O, and you know that there's a hydrogen molecule or two hydrogens and an oxygen, or two oxygens and a hydrogen, one of the two, right? And they say, no, 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 no. Water is made out of the same stuff as sulfur, right? Well, if you're a chemist and you know that water is not the same as sulfur, you're not going to argue with them. You're going to say, here, let me reference you. Let me give you a reference so you can go look it up, and then come back and talk to me after you go read what your dumb ass, right? So what I do is, when it comes to the Lizzo thing, my position is, I got a video. I went out and I got Dr. Claude Anderson, one of the smartest human beings in the history of this earth. He did a great appearance on The Breakfast Club. That video has over 1 million views. Y'all don't understand. Y'all need to see the big picture. That was Black history made right there. That was Black history right there. That transformed millions of Black minds right there, right? So anyway, Dr. Claude Anderson came onto my podcast last week, drboycetv.com. And he did an analysis explaining the history of the Mammy Jezebel minstrel show and why the Lizzos are more popular than the India Aries, right? He explained why why male rappers, it ain't just a gender thing. I know the feminists, they want to try to make it, oh, he hates women or he was fat shaming. Well, you're making words up now. Now you're creating concepts that will support your bullshit agenda, your social engineering quest. Like, I understand how it works. Keep doing it, but it's not going to work here. But here's the thing. I know that they want to make it into more than what it is. And the reason that they want to do that is because they don't like accountability. They're not used to Black people calling out the bullshit. They're not used to Black people standing up for the real shit. They're not used to Black people saying enough is enough. Right. And so flipping back over, let's flip back over. So okay, so we talked about Lizzo, the 800-pound woman who goes to Lakers games with her ass out and twerks while she's playing the flute and actually thinks that that's like quality entertainment. And that's fine. We talked about Kevin Hart, the guy who has made mistakes as well. Kevin Hart is not without any sort of challenges in terms of how he presents things. But in one area, Kevin Hart gets props for the fact that Kevin, stood up to the LGBT agenda. Good for him, right? Now let's go to rapper YG. Here's the problem with the rap. So let's get it past the gender thing. It ain't a gender thing. This is not anti-woman, right? Anti-Lizzo. Let's go to YG and the rappers. Here's the deal. I don't care if rappers are apologizing to the LGBT community. Like, you can do that. You can apologize to whoever. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's your right to do whatever you want to do. But here's the deal. And I want you guys to give me a yes or no if you think if I'm on the right page with this. I believe that your first apology doesn't need to be to white people. Your first apology, if you are a rapper, a gangster rapper in particular, your first apology should be to Black people. Give me a yes or no if you agree that the hip hop community, those who have made millions of dollars, trashing and destroying the image of Black people around the world, if you give me a yes or no if you think that they owe an apology to the Black community. Do you think that they owe an apology to African Americans for the fact that you have presented us to the world as a bunch of drug addicts? You've referred to your beautiful Black women as bitches and hoes, and debased the image of the Black woman all around the world, which is absolutely sacrilegious, completely sacrilegious, because the Black woman is as close of a thing to a walking goddess as we have on this earth. A strong quality Black woman, you can't compete with that, right? So you have something in your community that is priceless in terms of value, and you have presented it to the world as trash. You have conspired with white supremacists to make the Black woman the most disrespected creature on the planet. You owe an apology for the fact that you have convinced millions of our strong young Black children, particularly the men, to start popping mollies and shit and drinking perp and all this other shit that you're telling them to do that's killing these kids. You had that young brother in Chicago that died in the airport because he had been getting high and he had a seizure and died right there on the spot. You should apologize for the fact that my job is harder because of the fact that we have been trained to be financially stupid. We have been trained by our media, and media is very powerful. That's why Hitler used media to kill the Jews, just like white folks use media to kill Black people. Just like Hitler used media to take out a people that he did not want to see on this earth. Well, media is being used to take you out too, right? So you conspired with the people who hate us the most. to destroy the people who loved you the most. So I don't care how many other people you apologize to. Black people need to be first. So if you agree with what I said, let's just start with this basic idea. Black first, B1. That's what people are using. People are using that hashtag B1, B and the number one. Type B1 in the chat if we can at least agree on this point. You might not agree with everything I've said today, and that's okay. I said a lot. I say a lot of things, right? You may not agree with what I said about Lizzo. That's okay. I got my own children didn't agree. My own children were like, but we like Lizzo, right? And I had to explain that I like Lizzo too, but I don't like everything Lizzo's doing, right? So it's okay to disagree with me. I got relatives that disagree. So you can disagree, but can we at least agree on the fact that you matter? Can we at least agree that Black people are the most important and most significant people on the planet? Can we at least agree that the Black community should be first in line when it comes to getting apologies from the artists, when it comes to things like reparations, when it comes to anything else, when it comes to where we put our resources, where we put our energy? Black people must be first. Can we at least agree on that? If we can agree on that, then we good. We still family, and we all still love each other. Even if you disagree with me, I promise you, it does not offend me when you disagree. What I don't believe, but I will remind you of, is that there's a difference between disagreeing with someone and seeking to discredit someone. Discredit campaigns are kind of what agents do. That's what COINTELPRO does. I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to point to exactly who I think might be COINTELPRO in the Black community, but I'm going to tell you, when you see people that are going beyond disagreement and going into the space of discrediting, when you're discrediting all the elders that fought for you to even have a right to speak, when you're discrediting the Black people who agree with you, when you're discrediting the Black folks who are fighting for reparations, when you're discrediting Black people who have put it all on the line for the Black community, that's kind of an issue. That's a problem because you're not being constructive in your behavior, you're being destructive. But disagreement should actually lead to enlightenment because that allows you and I to learn from each other's perspective. So if you want to know what goes through my warped little brain, when my children are telling me why they like Lizzo, I heard every single word of that. I heard everything that they said. I did not tell them that they were wrong. I just said, well, there's another perspective. And here, I want you to go read this about the history of the Mammy Jezebel image. And I want you to just reconcile that with the fact that everything that's fun ain't really funny, or all money ain't good money. Everything that's popular ain't always healthy, right? The most popular girl in the school might be the one who's doing boys in the bathroom, right, every day after lunch, but that don't mean that she's engaged in healthy behavior, right? So everything that's popular ain't always what's right. And just because people think you're cool, that doesn't mean that what you're doing is healthy and a beneficial reflection of what you represent as a community. So that's my position on whether it's Lizzo or any other entertainment that's out here. I think we've got to at least know the difference and always remember Black people must come first. So do what you want, go make your money, go do your thing, rap about whatever you want, but do not, if the Black community's name is in your mouth, it should be done in a respectful and dignified way. We can't have you working with white supremacists to destroy your community. That's just not going to work for anybody. All right. And again, I'm not accusing this rapper of doing this at all. I'm just really talking about hip hop in general. Okay. So I hope this message is taken with the intention that I had. And I'm going to go, guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button before you go. Please hit the thumbs up button. Share and subscribe button. Also, thank you guys who are the moderators for blocking out the trolls. I appreciate that. We ain't got time for all that. And how do you sign up for the wedding? Says Osiris. The wedding's July 11th in the South Side of Chicago, and I will put up a link where you guys can actually RSVP for free. I'm going to reach out to the wedding planner, and we're going to get all that set up very, very soon. All right. And also don't forget, if you want to learn about stock market investing, things like that, I have a great stock market class. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. So feel free to do that as well. And I'm about to bounce out of here, guys. So have a good day. Love you, and I'll see you soon. Take care. 6 days before your birthday. Okay, well, happy birthday, Vanessa Jones. Happy birthday, sister. In my mind, it's going to be your 25th birthday. I hope that's okay with you. I don't know how old you are, but happy 25th birthday. And every year is going to be your 25th birthday for the next 40 years because age ain't nothing but a number, and everybody's young, Black, and beautiful up in this mug. So take care, guys. Love you. I'll see you soon. Have a good day.